Hello, and welcome to the School Improvement Fund's Cohort 6 Continuation Application GMAP Walkthrough. My name is Veronica Bowler, and I work in the District 180 branch within the Office of Continuous Improvement and Support at the Kentucky Department of Education. My contact information is listed on the screen. Please feel free to contact me with any questions after viewing this screencast. In this video, I'll guide you through the steps to complete your School Improvement Funds, or SIF, application in GMAP for continuation awards under SS Section 1003, Project Code 320MC, commonly referred to as the Cohort 6 continuation. The steps for completing the continuation application will differ slightly from the original application, as you'll have the option to copy some information from the previous year's submission. It's also important to note that the allocation amount may be different for the continuation award, so be sure to review and update accordingly. As a reminder, the original application funds are set to expire on September 30th, 2026.
The continuation award expires September 30th, 2027.
The Grant Management Application and Planning System, better known as GMAP, supports districts in maximizing the use of grant funds. GMAP allows districts to apply for and manage grant applications, and it also provides KDE staff with tools for monitoring, approval, and reporting. KDE provides an electronic application template, shown here. This is typically used at the school level as a collaborative resource to assist the district in drafting the GMAP application with school-level staff as co-designers. This document also serves as a historical record for any amendments that may be made to the grant. Once completed, the district's GMAP contact will assist with entering the information on the template into the official GMAP system. Since this is a continuation grant, it may be easiest to use the electronic template for the original grant as a way to track the updates. The process for completing amendments often involves editing the electronic template at the school level and then passing along to the district to make the official changes in GMAP. The same process could be used for continuation. This process involves using strike-through font on anything that is being removed and typing anything new in red font. The example shown here shows how this process works on the template. Things that are being removed from the grant and therefore need removed from GMAP are in strike-through font. Things that are new to the grant and need added to GMAP are in red font. New users must be added by district staff who are assigned to the User Access Administrator role. Once you're added to the system, you'll be ready to view and work within GMAP. To access GMAP, use any web browser and go to gmap.education.ky.gov. We'll begin on the GMAP homepage. On the left, you will see a menu of options. The Sign In button is located at the top right of the screen. For this demonstration, I'll be logging into a test site that closely mirrors the view and functions available in your district's account. After logging in, you'll see a list of any applications you have access to. Further down the page, you'll also find any system announcements posted for users. To get started, click your organization's name to access your application. This brings you to the Funding Applications page. Here, you'll see drop-down menus that allow you to select the fiscal year and the specific application that you're working on. GMAP defaults to the most recent fiscal year. Below the drop-downs, you'll find a list of applications, their current status, and the date that each was last updated. For Cohort 6 continuation awards, you'll want to leave the fiscal year set to 2026 and the application type set to all active applications. Then, click on the link labeled School Improvement Funds Cohort 6 Continuation. This takes you to the Sections page of the application. At the top of every page, you'll see your district and school name, the fiscal year, the name of the application, and the current revision number. Since this is the initial continuation application, you'll see Rev 0. The revision number will update each time changes are made through an official application amendment in GMAP to an approved application. The Sections page contains links to each page of the SIF application and is an easy way to navigate between them. Before you can begin entering information into the application sections, you'll need to change the application status. Navigate to the top left of the screen where it says Change Status to. Then select Draft Started. A prompt will appear asking you to confirm this action. Click Confirm to proceed. Back on the Sections page, you'll see the various parts of the application. You can expand or collapse each section using the plus or minus buttons on the left side. Let's take a closer look at what each section includes and how it functions specifically for this continuation application. The history log provides a timeline of edits made to the application, including who made each change. While you can create comments in this section, it is primarily used by KDE consultants during the application review process. The allocation section displays the total amount of funds available for the grant. The district level questions include several areas that must be addressed and is where you'll begin the application process. In the SIF overview and instructions, you'll find a summary of school improvement funds along with important guidance on district and school level responsibilities related to the grant. There are a couple of ways to navigate through the application in GMAP. An important reminder: avoid using your browser's back button while working in GMAP, as this can cause you to lose progress. To save your work and move to another section, use the Save and Go To menu, which appears here in a gray box. Clicking this button will save your work and refresh the current page. If you've been working on the same page for an extended period of time, use this option to reset the timeout clock, located here at the top right. That way your work is not lost. To expand the menu, hover your cursor over the black arrow next to the button. You'll see a list of navigation options. Each selection will also save any work entered on the current page. From this menu, you can go to the next or previous page, return to the Sections page, or jump directly to a specific part of the application. Since this page of the application is for informational purposes only, there's nothing I need to enter here, so I'm ready to move on. I'll do that by hovering over the Save and Go To button and clicking Next Page. You can also navigate to the sections that you would like to go to by clicking the Sections button at any point and choosing the section you would like to go to. The next section in the application is the District Assurance page. Here, you'll need to review the provided information and check the box to indicate your agreement with the assurance. Once the check mark is in the box, this page is complete, and you can go to the next page using the navigation method that you prefer. This brings you to the District Narrative page. These are district-specific questions that were completed and submitted during the initial application process. Because of that, you'll see an option beneath the Save and Go To menu as linked text that states, "Copy previous fiscal year details." Clicking this will open a preview of what will be copied over. Fields highlighted with a green box indicate content that has been pulled in from prior year's application. Some fields will not be copied over and they won't have green boxes because they must be updated for the new application cycle. You'll see examples of this in other sections. If any information was manually entered before copying over, GMAP will highlight those fields with a red box to indicate that copying will overwrite existing content in those fields. At the top of the preview window, you'll have two options. Select Keep Changes to import the previous content, or Revert Changes to cancel the action. If you choose to copy and keep the data, you can still edit and update the fields as needed once the page reloads. Be sure to review your responses carefully and update any information that may have changed, such as meeting dates, progress monitoring timelines, and other relevant details. At the bottom of the page, you'll see a checkbox. This is to confirm that any elements copied over from the previous application have been reviewed and revised as necessary. Be sure to check this box before proceeding. Use the navigation box and the method that you prefer to get to the next page. All information is saved when you click the Save and Go To button. Since we've just completed the final page of the district level section, we'll go to the section's landing page and choose the School Program Details section. This part of the application requires you to use the electronic template that was completed in collaboration with the school. You'll use that template to copy and paste the responses into GMAP. As you transfer the information, ensure that the information is accurate and makes sense for that section, as mistakes on the template that get put into GMAP could slow down the approval process. Once you are in the School Program Details section, you'll again see the option to copy previous fiscal year details. Keep in mind that some fields in this section will not be carried over as they require updated information. You'll want to continuously refer back to the electronic template to ensure the information is entered accurately. At the top of the page, be sure to enter the school contact or principal name and total enrollment that is up to date for this year. In the school activities chart, the columns for improvement priorities and evidence-based practices will be copied from the previous year. However, you will need to update the fields for necessary resources and the explanation of necessary resources with current information for this application. As you scroll down, you will see the Cohort 6 Evidence-Based Practices, Processes, and Assurances questions have been copied over if you chose that option. You can edit them as needed. For the school personnel details, it should copy over if you had anything in that part of the section from last year. If you'd like to keep the changes, click Keep Changes. If you click Revert Changes, it will take the copied information away and give you blank text box to enter into. At this point, you can also go in and make any further edits and add to the boxes that need filled in. As a reminder again, if you are spending an extended amount of time on this page, be sure to click the Save and Go To button to refresh and save the current page you're working on and reset the countdown timer. The next page will be the budget page. Just like the school program details, this section will require you to closely compare the entries in the electronic template with what you enter in GMAP. To begin updating the budget, click on Modify. Please note that the budget information from the previous application will not carry over. You'll need to enter each item again for the budget. Click Add Budget Detail to begin entering individual line items. You'll encounter several drop-down options here. The category. This should be set to 320 MC SIF school activities, which corresponds to the grant we're working on. The object code is where you can choose the appropriate code for the item that you're entering. The district or school should remain set to the district or school that you're working on. There are options then to adjust the quantity and cost. When you enter the quantity and unit cost, the total will automatically calculate. Be sure to complete the narrative description field on the right-hand side. Most districts copy and paste this directly from the electronic template, but it is important to review the text carefully for any errors or mismatches between the template and what's entered in GMAP. As you add entries, the running total will appear at the bottom right corner of the screen. Once you're finished entering a line item, click Create to return to the main budget screen. Here you can review, edit, or delete entries and continue adding additional items as needed using the Add Budget Detail link. After you've finished entering all of your budget items, click Return at the top of the page. Your information will be saved. This will take you back to the main budget summary screen. From here, you can either return to the Sections page or continue navigating through the application using Next Page. All of your budget entries will be saved. If you did choose Next Page, it will take you to the Budget Overview section, which provides a summary of everything you have entered so far. The final section of the application is Related Documents Uploads. This section does not carry over from previous applications, so all documents must be reviewed and updated as needed. The school CSIP and the WWC compliance requirements for evidence-based practices will need to be reviewed and revised to align with any new activities included in the continuation application before being uploaded. The last upload here is the Principal Assurance page. This section will require an updated Principal Assurance signature page. This form is located at the end of the school-level electronic template, and it may include either a digital signature or a scanned copy of a signed document. To upload a document, click Upload New, then select your file and enter a name for the document. If you don't rename the file, GMAP will default to the name of the upload section. Clear and specific document titles are especially important for reviewers with any future amendments. Once you click Create, you'll return to the Related Documents section where you can continue uploading additional files as needed. Once completed, click Next Page or navigate back to Sections to return to the application's landing page. The final section here is the School Improvement Consultant Checklist. This checklist is a helpful self-assessment tool to review before submitting. It ensures that all areas of the application meet the necessary requirements for approval. It will also serve as a means of communication between KDE reviewers and the district regarding the approval status of the funding application. After the district submits the application, KDE will review and mark each section as OK, not applicable, or attention needed. If there are no items marked as attention needed, the application will be approved. If any section is marked attention needed, the application will be returned to the district with a status of not approved. At that point, stakeholders should review the checklist carefully, focusing only on the checked items within the sections marked attention needed. KDE may also provide notes to clarify what needs to be corrected. After making the necessary changes, the district will resubmit the application. KDE will then review the updated sections. If issues have been resolved, the status will be updated to OK on the checklist. If not, it will be returned again as not approved. Applications with no items marked as attention needed will move forward and be approved. Once you have reviewed everything and feel the application is complete, return to the Sections page. Once you reviewed everything and feel the application is complete, return to the Sections page. From here, you will click Draft Completed. This will begin the submission process. The application must then be approved by a district finance officer and superintendent before KDE is notified and begins its official review. That concludes our walkthrough of the continuation application process in GMAP. Please make sure to double check all sections for accuracy before submitting and refer to the checklist as a final quality check. Once you've submitted the application and it's been approved by your superintendent, KDE will begin the review process. If any adjustments are needed, we'll communicate through the consultant checklist. If you have questions or encounter issues during the process, don't hesitate to reach out to me for support. We appreciate your partnership and the important role you play in improving outcomes for students across Kentucky. Thank you.